Do you have your copyright embedded in your images? And if you do, did you place it there manually? If you answered yes to either of these questions, then keep watching. Hi, I'm Rosanne Casu. I've been a photographer for over 16 years and use Lightroom and Photoshop on a daily basis to edit my images. I also love to create tutorials on Lightroom to showcase quick ways to use it for maximum effect. If you are into this, then please hit the subscribe button and keep watching. So why do we need to embed our copyright in the image? Well, images these days are everywhere. Your images are all over the internet, and if you don't have some way of distinguishing your images from someone else, then things could get really difficult. So why do we need to embed copyright in our images? Your images are everywhere on the internet, so it makes sense to try and identify them. You could use a watermark, but that can detract from the beauty of your image, as you can see with this very large one. And with a small one, there's really almost no point, because that could be very easily removed by someone unscrupulous in Photoshop. So a copyright symbol or notice placed on a print or embedded in the digital image that you've created informs everyone that you're the copyright owner. Now, an effective notice, a bit like the one I have on this image over here, identifies you as the copyright holder and shows the year that the image was created. Now, if we come down here to the copyright section, we can see that the copyright status is copyrighted. My copyright notice contains the year as well. It also contains the rights usage terms, which in my case is all rights reserved, and also contains the copyright information URL, which happens to be the homepage of my website. Now, for more information on how copywriting works, please check the authority that oversees copyright in your country. Now, for example, in the United States, you would go to the US Copyright Office, and in Australia, you would check out the Australian Government Department of Communications and the Arts. Now, I will place links to these two authorities in the description box below. Now, as an aside, many photography website providers, for example, Flickr, SmugMug, PhotoShelter, Squarespace, and similar, they further attempt to protect your images by making right-click image saving prevention an option. So for example, if I right-click on this image on my homepage, or even the next one, because this is a slideshow, you can see that the image is copyrighted by me, Rosanne Casu, that all rights are reserved and that unauthorized use is prohibited. Other sites, you just can't right-click at all and nothing happens. However, even if you have this facility on your website, it is still a very good idea to embed your copyright in your images. Now, this also holds true if you use the facility that some of the late model DSLR cameras have to embed a basic copyright statement in your image on capture. This is good, but it's still a better idea to add more. Right, so let's see this in action. Now, I created this image of a sunset at a lake near my home a bit earlier this year, and as we saw beforehand, I have added a copyright notice to the EXIF and IPTC data. Now, here I'm showing you the expanded panel, but we can even see it quite clearly in the default setup, where we have my copyright notice, the fact that it's copyrighted, and that I'm the creator. Now, one could embed this information one image at a time, but this would be tedious to the extreme to do this. So, is there a better way? I think there is. What if I told you that you could spend a couple of minutes per year creating an effective copyright preset, and then you could automatically set this up to apply to your images every time you import them to your computer? I thought that would get your attention. So let's get started on how to do this. Now, there are a couple of places that you can set this up in Lightroom. If you just want to create a preset that you're going to use sometime later, you can actually do this in the library module. But if you want to do this on the fly, then there's another place you can do this, and this is also where you set things up to happen automatically. So let's switch over to there. Now, this place is actually the import photos and video. So you head over to the file menu and choose import photos and video, and you get the familiar import dialog. So here we have the usual panel, the selecting of the source, and our in the middle section down here, we have all the different ways we can add our images to the catalogue. But the business end for today is over here in the apply during import. Now you could apply a develop setting, and I'll be making a video on that sometime in the future. But the one we're interested in today is this one down here, the metadata preset panel. This is the same panel that you can see in the library module, but it's displayed here and you can access it when you're setting up your import. So I have quite a few copyright presets down here. I actually had more, but I threw away my earlier ones because they were of no interest anymore. Now, you can set it up from new, and I'm going to show you how to do that in a minute. But I have also created a copyright template preset, and you can download this for free from my website. Now, you can copy this into the metadata presets folder, which can be accessed via the presets section in preferences and then modified to match your details. However, what we're going to do today is to actually start at the beginning. So let's make a copyright preset for 2019. Now, from the metadata panel down here, click on New. Now this will bring up your new metadata preset that we're going to fill in. So what should we put in? Well, first of all, the word copyright. Now, it is a good idea to follow this with the copyright symbol, which is Option G on the Mac, followed by the year. So we're making a 2019 preset, so we'll pop in the year there, and then my name. So as we can see, this information's been filled in, and now we move on to copyright status. Now you have three options, but we're making a copyrighted one, so we'll pick copyrighted. Now here you have your rights usage terms. Now you can leave this blank, but it all depends what you want to do with your images. If you want to have all rights reserved like I do, or whether you want to use Creative Commons, this is your choice at this point. But I'll be putting in all rights reserved. Now, if you happen to have your copyright information on your website, which is always a good idea, then this is, you'll fill it in down here. So in my case, I actually have my copyright information on my homepage. So, whoops, that's not how you spell it. www.rosannecasu.com. Now, while we're here, because here we've got our basic copyright notice, but let's add our creator information, because if someone finds your image on the internet and they're doing the right thing, then they may actually want to get in touch with you to find out how they can use your image. So you can fill in as many or as few of these fields, but let's start. So my name. So your street address is obviously completely optional, as is the rest. You could fill in your city if that's appropriate. I'm from Brisbane in Australia, so I'll fill that in. And my state is Queensland. I won't bother with the postcode. The country is Australia. I won't be putting my phone number in, but my email address and my website. So at this point, we will name our preset, which we can name in many different ways. I do like to keep my format the same. So let's check out what I've done before. So we can see it's Rosanne Casu copyright and then the year. So, oops. And it would be really great if I could type today. And then we'll click Create. So now we have our new copyright preset. Now, to show how these presets work, let's just quickly import some images or add some images to the catalogue. So I took a few shots of my Christmas tree the other day, and I'll actually copy these to a new folder because I might want to use these images again. But let's select them all. Let's put them out on the desktop into a subfolder, and we'll call this Christmas tree images copyright. Now, we can do quite a lot of different things down here, but the thing we really want to do is to embed the copyright. Now, I took these photos just the other day, so we're still in 2018, so we'll choose last year's, we'll choose the copyright statement that belongs to this year, and then click on Import. So here we go. And here they are. So let's just pick a random one. And we can see that my copyright has been automatically embedded. And if we look at EXIF and IPTC, we can also see that my creator information has been embedded as well. So that's it. Your images now have comprehensive copyright and creator information embedded into them, as well as the rights usage terms, and this will now happen every time you import a shoot into Lightroom. Now, if you would like me to make a more in-depth video on copyright and why you should have it and where you should look for it, please let me know in the comments below. And if you liked this video, it would be really great if you would click on the like button and subscribe to my channel. This has been another Lightroom Lightning tip from Rosanne. See you in my next video.